Me enjoying the action. They've been here for most of the matches in Trinidad.
Bravo's come out. DJ, that is, the captain, has come out from slip, so he's packed the offside of a final. Now we're underway. And
yeah, loose delivery, just too short and too wide. Third man was up in the ring, deep mid-on was back. Plenty of room over the top.
Yeah, I share your point, Tom Moody. He's not bowled a lot, Javon Sills. This match is 4 wickets to his name. And on one occasion he picked up 3 wickets. Been fairly expensive in terms of his... economy.
Start again, got almost 100. Doesn't count now, we're in a final playoff.
Well, it's one of the hardest things for batsmen to do, and they're in a real rich streak of form, is just to clear the head and just treat every ball on its merit. You just want to club every ball to the boundary when you're in that type of mood.
Good over. Just 4 runs from it, 2 overs gone, 4 without loss.
Rods have beaten it. 138, then 141, 148, 146, 143 and 146. Now this is Chris Gayle, match 22 against the same opposition at Warner Arena. Now, these are 6s on most grounds around the globe. So a good feeling for Chris Gayle up against TKR in a crunch.
Ball first. Can see exactly what was it.
Able to come back.
I also think it's the first playoff match. You would see Evin Lewis, Chris Gayle just being a little more watchful than normal. And that's because of the intensity of the match itself, the opportunity that it presents. They can go straight into the final. That just takes up a little more time, more overs.
Good pace, but he hasn't found a gap again.
And Beaton set the tone in his very first over to Gayle. It was a maiden over. It had good pace. It had variety of length. He can consider himself unlucky with a decision that didn't go his way, but I think this has set the tone. It really has set the tone for TKR, and they're struggling now, the Patriots, to get into this contest. They're going to have to do something a little bit adventurous just to put a few boundaries.
So he's changing it up. This is catchable. Is it? Out of the straight.
You can find us in every corner of the world at Bet365.
T20 blast. That was a brilliant catch. Good judgment. Held his composure, kept his eyes on the ball. Most importantly.
Here's the professor, Mohammad Hafeez, in probably earlier than he would have thought or would have liked. Started here, then had to go. Time for Gayle.
Well, it's obviously added responsibility, and we've seen a different Chris Gayle in this tournament from previous tournaments. He's been a lot more circumspect with his approach, and he's been allowed to, really, because of Lewis's hot form at the other end, but he has taken...
Oh, hello. Didn't get all of it. Is that Cooper? He does well. Now, I'll tell you something here. For the stats gurus, against this opposition, has played 12 matches. Against TKR, he has amassed 542 runs and a strike rate, get this, at 150 AL. No one has scored more runs individually against an opposition than this guy. Christopher Henry Gayle loves playing against the Trinis. And this one, not enough on it. Not quite. One bounce four for Gayle.
Well, change of pace. A little bit of width, but Gayle recognising there was cover at deep mid-off, so he opened up the blade to hit it over cover. Hence not quite getting the timing he would have liked, but still very much needed boundary.
He looks very switched on, Chris Gayle. Usually he's a risk taker at the top of the innings. We've seen him play that secondary role to his partner Evin Lewis this time, being very measured and calculated in the manner in which he's gone about his batting.
Oh, help yourself, big guy. Love it to bits and pieces, because this one is the hero maximum. First one of the final.
As easy as that, Chris Gayle, a flick of the wrist, gets a hero maximum. Just look at this, no power, just timing from the big man. Long arms, big levers. Gets under it and he's aware that the man at square leg is within circle.
Well, Searles just overcorrected, didn't he? He gave a little bit of width to the ball before, paid the price over cover, and he just overcorrected, getting two straight on that occasion. On and a deep backward square of the two outfielders.
Searles has decided to come back over the wicket. Last one of the fourth. Oh, gave it the kitchen sink too. Four done, 20.
Counts as exercise. Find out how much brisk walking you're doing. Download the free Active 10 app.
At Marbles, we work hard to accept you and put you in control, even if you have a poor credit history. So get your application rolling at marbles.com today.
Could you beat the energy price riser, Steve? If you switch, yes.
4 overs gone and 20 on the board. It's a quiet start for the Patriots, and there would have been a collective sigh St Kitts and Nevis when Evin Lewis was brilliantly caught by Dan Christian, and however much that airfare was back, I got Ian Bishop and Melanie Jones alongside. Ronsford beaten. What a good over that was, and what a shot that is. Oh, that.
Well, this is style personified. Beaton pitches it up. It's got a little bit of width. It wasn't a half volley by any means. Hit it at the top of the rise. Had good control over it. Welcome to the crease. Yeah, might have got that one just a little wrong.
That's his game. He loves to show the full repertoire of his stroke play. Slip in there for Hafeez, and a very good riposte from Ronsford beaten. Allen catch.
So many catches went down early in this tournament. For a guy to step off a plane and come to display this sort of excellence, trying to catch up to Fabian Allen, but not quite there yet.
Funny you should say that, Bish. As he got this one through. Oh!
Well, Ronsford beaten didn't learn off the first one. He surely is going to learn off this one. Seam up, good position. I think it's even better. Waited a fraction longer for it. Hit it right underneath himself, so the control was...
Night to stand up. For Beaton, just pull your length back by a couple of feet.
A bit like that, Bish. Pull it back. Don't give him the invitation to drive.
Well, it had to be one or the other, didn't it? And he straightened his line on this occasion, so...
But how good was that first over of this playoff? I know he's gone for a couple of fours here. This is easing on the eye. Have to go. What's going on here? Now they might have to go upstairs. Square leg umpire. Langton Rosario from... Ooh, oh gosh, is he in? Is there a piece of that bat behind the line? Is there a centimetre of wood? That looks as if he's just got in by a splinter. A splinter has saved him here. Gregory Brathwaite is the third umpire, has to make the call here. He has to decide whether Mohammad Hafeez has got a fraction of the toe of his bat behind the line. Ian Bishop.
Probably saved by a frame because it's lit up there and you have to go with the evidence presented to you. There's a little bit, so I say not out.
Well done, Ian Bishop. Well, it was a fantastic piece of fielding from Javon Sills. Chris Gayle would never have made it down there. Now, Chris Gayle has been tested with the short ball. End of the over, 29 for 1.
Ransford Beaton really has grown from strength to strength. He was first spotted by the international audience down in the World Cup in Australia, Mel, in 2010, I think, under Craig Brathwaite, lean years, but is back in the West Indies senior team.
This has been an impressive start from Ransford Beaton. And now, who always has an impact. And his career has taken on a new dimension with the bat. But look at that economy rate, 5.54, bowling his brand of spin, and he's going to come up with, which is why he bewilders batsmen. Oh! So it's a different complexion now for the Patriots. With Evin Lewis gone, they have to compile a different kind of innings.
Well, they do, and thankfully for all the Patriots fans, Chris Gayle is out there because he's been involved in 4 of the top 10 partnerships.
It's a quite big.
So when you combine Gayle...
He's picked this up nicely as well. He's going out, all-out attack on Sunil Narayan, who's playing his 50th CPL match tonight. Sunil Narayan.
It's a wonderful shot to exploit the field when he's got a long on and a deep mid-wicket in the power play. Very few guys trust themselves to play the sweep shot because Narayan generally bowls so straight. Good stuff from Hafeez.
Doors, some assistance for the pace beat. That will be a big win.
I was kind of surprised that he didn't actually open the bowling Sunil Narayan. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I just thought with Lewis, as we say, over 40 for 1. I just thought...
penalty. Reel him in. Oh, he's a big one as well. Unbelievable. And so's this.
New Ladbrokes customers bet £5 on any sport and get £20 in free bets instantly.
Make sure you put it back though. Available Google Play. When the fun stops, stop.
The power play is over tonight here in Trinidad. What a journey it's been for this hero CPL T20 for 2017. From Lauderhill, where we started. We started in the blistering heat of Florida in Lauderhill, and on there to St. Lucia, to St. Kitts and Nevis, Providence, Guyana, Trinidad and Jamaica. Now, then for spin. Hafeez, you feel, holds the key here. I know Chris Gayle is there, and he has batted through. We saw him bat through the whole 20 overs in a match in Lauderhill. A much more circumspect Chris Gayle, but Hafeez knows how to compile and well, we've seen some unbelievable catches. Well, this is tonight's to remove Evin Lewis. Dan Christian. And this, Fabian Allen for the Patriots in Lauderhill. Oh, smacked hard by Gayle.
A couple of other factors, though, around Dan Christian's catch, Bish. I know you loved Fabian Allen's. Munro running in his vision, both people going for the ball. He's just come off a plane, jet lagged. Celebrations as well from winning with Nottingham. There's all these factors. It's the build-up as well. Look, the amount of ground that he covers. He's got pace to himself as well. Munro's in the corner of his eye. Is he going to go for it? And then the celebration. Giddy up.
It's the catch. Now Mohammad Hafeez, after playing some delightful strokes, is on the walk back, head down, 21 from 13. It's 42 for 2.
Did you know a brisk 10-minute walk counts as exercise?
I may not have the skills, but at least I've got the hair.
Contact us for a free consultation.
You and put you in control, even if you have a poor credit history. So get your application rolling at marbles.com today.
Top and middle order hasn't really had a lot of time in the middle. 76 runs. Strike rate is healthy, but of course it needs to be higher. But the run scoring has been aggregated by Evin Lewis and by Chris Gayle. Gayle is still there, and the responsibility is heaped even more on Gale's shoulders. He knows he's got to bat the distance now. He knows that. And he's done it in Lauderhill. He's batted long in this tournament. And we've seen a different Chris Gayle. And we're going to have to see it again.
I think what Mohammad Hafeez will be most disappointed about was that the first two boundaries that he struck were absolutely superb. They were in his hitting zone. He got into a position well.
And that was a milestone catch for Dinesh Ramdin as well. Ramdin now with 150 dismissals in T20 cricket.
The two boundary balls through the offside were superb. You're not going to get better than these two right here. It was in his hitting zone. He got into position well. Hoop it wide, so much further width. Didn't allow the ball to come on. He really needed to stand up and really square drive it through backward point.
Tucked away by King, and he's off the mark. 7 gone, 44 for 2.
So another start to Mohammad Hafeez, 21 after averaging 19 in this Hero CPL. He'll be disappointed that he couldn't team up with his captain in Chris Gayle to really lay a foundation in this batting innings. Knew he had to go down on it.
But he's a good fielder too.
Yeah, we were talking. You talked about Brandon King. He scored that 100 this year, and we saw him score 39 up in Florida. And that one thing he said afterwards was that he was soaking up too many dot balls in that innings. That's where he wanted to improve. Strike rate of 83. Let's see if he gets some time at the crease, whether he's improved in working the ball around.
39 that was in Lauderhill in Florida. Has he got an edge on this? Has he got an edge on this? No. And Narayan says, give me the ball back. Come on. Let's not waste time. Come on.
One shot, Charlie, here, boys. One shot, Charlie. Come on.
Do you go for Shadab here very soon if you're Bravo?
Good call. Good call.
Come on.
Dinesh Ramdin talking all the time.
Oh, well bowled, buddy.
One run to end the over. 8 gone.
Despite all of these bums in my face and the clueless steward clearing the way.
We've cleared the way for you to join Paddy Power's VIPP Club. Just place 5 bets of £10 or more in a week and you'll get a free £10 bet the next week.
At least we got the best seats of them all. No! My bet's gonna come in, I know. The hard
At the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. It's a wonderfully positioned venue. And the red, white and black of most of the crowd, in addition to the different colors of the dancing girls, very prominent. And of course Trinidad famous for its carnival as well. One of the big festivals the world over. Kevon Cooper continues. As well, but it's the costumes, myriad styles and aesthetics of them that has been a huge part of the success of that festivity.
Up, I tell you what, I've got costumes, colour, music, the whole shebang of the vibe of the place I've heard is extraordinary. Darren Ganga has invited me with the government to come back and I'll take it with both hands. Oh, exceptional. Can't wait.
Not sure why Darren Ganga would do that. I'm not sure why the government would do that.
Oh, Bish. I love you.
I'll tell you one thing, Bish, he won't need a costume.
He's in permanent guise, isn't he?
And rightly so. I love those feathers.
Talked about Gayle, and I think up in Florida, Tom, we were talking about, I was reminded of an innings that he played in the previous Caribbean T20, I think it's back in 2012-13, where he was 27 from 28 deliveries after 10 overs. He finished up with 122. He's going very slowly here. He's 15 into the 9th over. I'm not sure he can replicate that, but it's something that he'll have to aim to do in these conditions.
Apart from the fact that, you know, he is at the back end of his career and his game has changed slightly. What it does tell you is that I don't think he's got a huge amount of confidence in the depth of the batting of the Patriots. So he recognises he's got to carry the weight.
Could be trouble. Has he hit it? Yes, he's hit it well enough. It's a hero maximum for Brandon King. I thought it was a toe of the bat.
King! Stroking it like one. Little flick of the wrists. Christian got a little bit of hang time. It was never on test with this one sailing over for 6 more.
Both of these players emanate from the island of Jamaica. Of course, in terms of age, they're worlds apart.
Yeah, the southwest stand here, the mountain is beautiful from around here. Picturesque mountain, all blue, all red. Trinity flags are all over. We're going to show him what the real stand and commentary is like here on the Southwest stand.
Hey, is Marno back? All the way from Perth. Moods is going to mow. And some specs.
Well, I tell you what, he is a hero fan of the match candidate. I reckon we might have to send Danny Morrison down there. Just,
I reckon he's wearing one of Tom Moody's shirts. The sleeves look very big. Oh, that's turned a long way.
Always at you. Very rarely does Narayan have a bad game in T20. Look at it, glove through there. How does this?
Glove onto his leg and went down behind the wicketkeeper. Should have been runs.
yeah, big glove onto the back leg. Lucky to survive. Beautiful.
Just to your point, Gayle and Lewis have scored 6 here. Is he trusting the rest of the batting? Oh, beautifully bowled by Narayan.
It's just that length. You can't quite get there. It's a beautiful bit of flight. Length again is so key from Narayan.
Narayan's now committed. And at 61 for 2, time for the Carib drinks break.
St. Kitts Tourism sponsors Hero CPL on BT Sport.
I heard you sold your house. You must be chuffed.
Yeah, really pleased.
Did you use Purple Bricks?
No, they're just online.
No, they're proper estate agents. Real people, they just don't charge commission.
No commission?
No.
Ah, commisery. The misery you feel when you spent thousands on commission but got nothing more for your money. So I think I used the last of the milk. Stockco.uk.
At the junction, turn right. At the crossroad, turn right. At the river, go straight through. Then turn right. At the dormant volcano, turn right. I suppose you want the left turns now.
Nevermore gets you confident for simple conversation after only a few days of learning. So you'll be mingling with the locals in no time. Download our easy-to-use app today.
Could you beat the energy price riser, Steve? If you switch, yes you can. Boom! Game time, baby.
Approaching drop zone, stand by.
At BOTB, someone wins their dream car every week. With over 180 dream cars to choose from, it's already been won. Congratulations, Andy, you are this week's winner. I can't believe it. Enter now and get £5 for free at BOTB.com.
St. Kitts Tourism sponsors Hero CPL on BT Sport.
Yeah, Dan Christian, first game coming over from the UK to replace Brendan McCullum, and I tell you what, you don't see too many better than that. And then Hafeez was looking good. But Kevon Cooper back in the side, picking up a wicket in his very first over.
Well, we talked about Shadab Khan coming into the attack. think he will definitely challenge Brandon King.
Ball. Slip in place for that outside edge.
No, he's on 13. No, I don't want to give him the kiss of. 13 from 16 and against Khan.
Oh, shut up!
Well, the simple issue here is that not only King, but there's very few batsmen that can read him. So they don't know which way he's turning. So not only does that present enormous challenge for the batsman when it comes to scoring, but it presents a huge challenge with them preserving their wicket.
I wonder, and you're a good person to ask, get your guys on this. That'll be a wide. Is he similar or very different from Rashid Khan?
Oh, he's going to survive, just chipping it over the top. But what I mean by that, in his bowling action, he's got slightly more round arm action than Rashid Khan. Rashid Khan bowls very much at 12 o'clock, so he delivers the ball right from above his head. This young man will turn his leg spinner a bit more than Rashid Khan because he has a slightly more round arm. Any better or worse than Rashid Khan. They're both wonderful bowlers that have got an amazing...
And I think in a way it's probably the difference between the sides. So the spinners, just that bit more dynamic. And of course, Shahid Khan and Sunan Orion are in good form as well. The pressure off to finish the 11th. It is now 64 for 2.
Sits atop Hafeez, and the further that, in fact, they've run 3. They may want to see it upstairs as well.
Yeah, I think Greg Brathwaite will want to have a look at this. And I tell you what, the man who's got a dodgy ankle might have just made it a little bit more worse. Wonderful dab, actually. He waited and controlled it nicely to Gayle. There, lands on the ball a little bit. Oh, I think he's all right. I think he's okay. This might be okay, but can't tell you. I think the first angle was better. That hurts. When you land on the ball and you hit thigh, just to go with a niggly ankle, you wonder who's against you upstairs. I think that's okay. I think that's a 3. And immediately, medical staff are all over Ronsford Beaton. Top there. You look at Hafeez, there's a little cameo there of 21 from 13, and Cooper, Gayle and King on the board early. Dream 11, the scorecard. The dream11.com. Check it all.
Brandon King now 15 from 19, or is it 14 from 18? 15 from 19. Gayle 22 from 26. TKR would be happy with their progress in terms of the economy rate they've restricted so far.
A lot of responsibility for these two to really start to kick on with overs running out. And here's a good example. Gayle looking to sweep that away to the leg side. Confirmation, yes, it's all the way. Hero maximum.
Well, I think he heard you, Moods. Flick the switch. 400 maximum. Who else? Dark and stormy. Christopher Henry Gayle on the sweep and on the charge here against Sunan Orion, who's only got 2 deliveries left in his quota.
Then we talked about his wicket-taking propensity not being as great as it was, let's say, a couple of years ago, but he's still economical. Bowl that over again. They do. 4 overs for 30 and no wickets for Narayan. It's 75 for 2 after 12.
Did you know a brisk 10-minute walk counts as exercise? Find out how much brisk walking you're doing. Download the free Active 10 app. Thought I was totally losing it, but now I'm not.
At Marbles, we work hard to accept you and put you in control, even if you have a poor credit history. So get your application rolling at marbles.com today.
But once again, it's Chris Gayle who's having to drop anchor here and guide his side through. Brandon King, 15 from 19, his shutout Khan. We're into the 13th used. 4 wonderful overs from Narayan, always asking questions. 14 dot balls, which put bowlers. That's a clean hit for a hero maximum onto those grassy banks.
The critical thing about this shot was the fact that he covered the ball. He's sitting against the spin, but he got to the pitch of it. Have a look at this. Nice full swing up. He's a powerful young man, Brandon King. Leaving in boundary, his second hero maximum.
Toss it a little bit up, see what you're going to do. Okay, you can hit me for 6, and then I'm going to see if I can sneak through with the quicker ball, and it almost worked. And I like to see a player do that.
And the first 3 balls that Shadow was bowled this over, he's bowled it at 80, and even the 4th ball was at 111. So, I don't know, Darren, give us from a batting point of view, what's he going to bowl now? Is he going to get the slow one?
Yeah, I think he's going to go with the googly away from Gayle. Was a conventional leg break, so he's got a lot of variety. That's what makes him so effective as a leg spinner. He can vary his pace, bowl different deliveries. Those subtle differences makes it very difficult when you're attacking him as a batsman.
It's wide, and Gayle can't do anything with it. 13 gone, 82 for 2.
And the other wonderful thing about Shadow Khan, he hit for a couple of games, but he's fought back well in the next game. And for a youngster to be able to do that,
13 overs gone in the first playoff of the Hero CPL 2017. The winner of this match goes straight through to Saturday's final. The loser has a second chance. They will play the winner of tomorrow's match in a second eliminator. But now, change of bowling. It is Dwayne Bravo. He's taken more wickets than anyone else in the world in T20 cricket. 378 wickets in his career. Brandon King, he hasn't caught hold of that. It should be gone. No, he never quite got there. William Perkins.
He didn't really look confident going for this catch. William Perkins playing in his first match in Hero CPL 2017. A bit of nerves. Have a look at this. It was a long time in the air. Just hesitated a bit and never got to it.
To make good ground like Dan Christian did on the first catch of the match. Get himself to a position where he knew where the ball was going to land. All of a sudden got himself into a position where he nearly had to take one of the hardest catches, which is diving forward, where your momentum and your hands are going at the ball.
Short picks it up nice and cleanly for another hero maximum.
Absolute freebie. Down the leg side, legged, pace on the ball. Just swivel and help yourself, mate. Hero maximum for him.
Let's go downstairs. Gotham Vimani, where are you, Maestro?
Well, that last 6...
From 28, it's 90 for 3.
Find us in every corner of the world. Watching, listening. We are members of the world's favourite online sports betting company, and responsibly at Bet365.
He's only scored 107 runs in the 10 matches he's played. This is the 11th.
Went the third shorter ball this over. It's cost them 8 runs because he was dropped off the first ball of the over. That was comfortably taken by Ramden. Bravo got his man in the end and is happy that he's picked up a wicket in his first over. Breaks a partnership that was forming too.
Brathwaite off the mark. Back to you, Gotham.
Yes, Ian Morris still with us with the loss of King. You're the king right here of the band. Tell us quickly about what you do now, because it's a very different thing from 400 meters in Seoul.
Oh yes, it's completely different. After this here is the percussion which I play, the iron here. You have the barrel bass here, which is one of the basses. You have the congas here, another percussion. And you have the kettle drum and the tassa, where one of our players, you know, he's a master on this.
We've got a big party going over here. We're not going to let you go without showing us how this iron works, and maybe after that you can give me a bit of a lesson.
No, I believe when we start a play, you could come and you could tape it, and then you will see exactly what. But I don't want to do it by myself. You know,
give us a sample, and after that we'll get you the next over doing the whole shebang.
Something simple and small.
One more.
Ian Morris, 92 in Barcelona, 400 metres.
Trinidad's obviously producing some pretty impressive 400 metre sprinters, one of the toughest events going around too, particularly just the training for it. Whew. Glad it's them, not me.
14 gone, 93 for 3.
Consistent wickets here, falling at 7, 42 and 90 in 14 overs so far. It was particularly Ronsford Beaton started things so well for the Knight Riders.
Dwayne Bravo brings himself on as the 6th bowler, and he removes Brandon King, and Orion is bowled out. And the Patriots, well, their run rate, Darren, where are they going to go from here? What are they looking at?
They need to get about 10 runs per over from here on in. Carlos Brathwaite, the good thing about him, he hasn't scored much runs, but it's his strike rate. Just under 160. I think that is exactly what the Patriots need at this stage of the innings. Chris Gayle is still there. He could turn it up at any time.
Lots of prizes on there for you. Dream11.com. What a sight this is, this wonderful new arena in Trinidad. Shadab Khan, there's a lot of loop to that delivery, and Gayle deals with it.
He's not a big sweeper of the cricket ball. He would look to slump sweep the ball. Chris Gayle, talking about using instruments. Chris Gayle is good with the bat. These guys are good on metal. Wonderful shot. I think it was the attempted slump sweep, then realized it was a flatter delivery, rolled his wrists over the ball. He doesn't like it at all. Shadab Khan.
Got to own the field as well. Yeah, you're going to have the captain set a field for you, but you've got to work in tandem. He has to be in sync with Dwayne Bravo. He's got to be happy with the field that he's going to bowl to. in the positions that he's going to pitch the ball.
I think he might have got an under edge to that.
Chance.
That's very tough on Ramdin.
I think I'm glad he's got a lot of people around him at the moment, Gorton. He's got the moves. I'm not too sure if he's actually making...
Over, 15 gone, it's 98 for 3.
With Expedia, you can book your flights, hotel, car hire and activities.
Why would you want to walk on your hands? On the boundary. Oh, that's chipped, and I'm not sure he knows where that's going. He's lucky.
Deceived by Dwayne Bravo. Very early, had to pull out. Luckily for him, he's still there.
The reason being, Darren, because it was bowled at just 103. So it's a very slow delivery from Dwayne Bravo.
Boys and girls grow up playing the game. Tennis ball cricket, tape ball cricket in Pakistan, backyard cricket in Australia. This is where I think and why Dwayne Bravo is so good with those slower balls that dip at that last second.
100 up in the 16th over. They've got to go some from here. Chris Gayle's strike rate is 87. You associate a lifetime with Chris Gayle. Brilliantly bowled. Great Yorker.
Started before this match with a strike rate just about 130, which is good when you consider he's batted most of the times alongside Evin Lewis. I just feel you're seeing the leadership and maturity in this man. It's the first time the Patriots are into the playoff round, and he's managed his resources properly.
To assume the responsibility. It's hit so hard that nearly took Gayle's head off on the way through. Oh, it's been smashed. Would that be a Sunshine Snacks Nuts power shot of the day?
It is indeed. And from the man, you should remember the name, Carlos Brathwaite. Just a flick of the wrist. Ah, the power of this man. He's a big structure, long levers. It was a virtual shorthand jab.
Slower ball, he hasn't caught hold of this. Rammed in. Wonderfully contrived from Dwayne Bravo. He's Brathwaite. His mind games going on out there. Brilliant from the TKR skipper.
Delivery up at 137, slowest at 96. That is a huge difference that the batters have to navigate.
Again, no pace for Chris Gayle. 106 for 3.
Carnival costumes galore for both young and old, and that's the thing about carnival here in this part of the world. I suppose most carnivals, you've got your section for the adults, and then you've got kiddies carnival. And oh, Shah Rukh Khan is here. Is he the owner of TKR, or is he a hero fan of the match candidate? He certainly is.
She was commentating with him.
He's hit that very, very well. Someone's caught it. Yes, he has.
Stand and deliver as Chris Gayle's strike rate hits 100. And he's saying, right, this is where I'm going to launch myself from. One, not just a in the crowd, Evan.
That's Fabian.
Wonderful strike, but even better catch. Oh yeah, pluck it.
You saw it on the screen that he caught it. You're sitting at the back talking just now about Carlos Brathwaite, and a lot of people don't or forget that he's got 3 test match half centuries, I think, in 4 test matches. He is a proper player. He's just not a banger of the ball generally.
Well, boy, shut up.
One thing he does too often for me is he goes leg side. I've said that time and time again.
Yeah, it's interesting. He nearly feels he's got to hit the ball harder than he actually has to. He's a big man. He's got a lot of power. And we use the word losing shape, you know, quite often. And he is a great example of someone that does try to overhit the ball, therefore dragging the ball to leg side.
So in that case, then Ian Bishop, is it of benefit to Brathwaite that he's out there with Chris Gayle at the moment as a big striker of the ball, that he might just pull things back a little bit?
It's a good question, which we'll come back to. 17 overs gone, 116 for 3.
So once again, a reasonably good economy rate there from Shadab Khan. 4 have gone, none for 25. Once again, it really started with Ronsford beaten in those first few overs.
Beaton has another over. Narayan is bowled out. Shadab is bowled out. So it'll be Bravo who will probably bowl a couple of these. He's now into his 3rd over. Gone for 4. He's muscled that. The left leg cleared and the bat came down a straight line.
Well, certainly hit in a better direction, didn't?
What I like about it as well was he didn't try and go the maximum. He kept it flat, kept the bat face open, kept things as simple as possible.
Simply done. Bravo celebrating again. And the big burly Brathwaite is gone. 14 to Carlos, 120 for 4.
Some warning signs you may be sleep poor, difficulty concentrating.
There you go.
You're hungrier than usual. You're needlessly irritable.
What?
You zone out. You're prone to cliches.
Don't cry over spilled milk.
You're clumsy. You're emotional. And that happens. A message to the sleep poor. Join the sleep rich. Try the Eve mattress with our one.
For the Patriots. Bravo still round the wicket. He's changed his pace so beautifully. Used the short ball, used the Yorker very well, the full package.
He's a wicket taker, that's for sure. Because all of a sudden, it was back of a length on this occasion. Couldn't correct himself in time. And gives Bravo yet another wicket and another celebration.
It's an issue that I certainly agree with and talked about for a while now with Brathwaite, that word alignment. As much as he does to hit the ball out of the ground. I saw a little improvement in the Pakistan series earlier this year in the T20s, where he was hitting straighter, standing up and working on keeping better shape. They need a gale force wind blowing across here, and talking about that, Just want to mention those up in Montserrat and St. Kitts and Antigua in the Eastern Caribbean. So our prayers are with you that there'll not be too much damage and no loss of life, more importantly.
So important now, isn't he? He's important in every game that they've been playing in. Lewis in particular. But now, most importantly, he really needs to be facing the majority of the last deliveries. In saying that, Nabi has a wonderful strike rate.
Neck and crop. The lights are on once again. 3 wickets for him. You think they love him? You think they love TKR at this ground? Red, white and black, prominent. Nabi goes for 1.
In every corner of the world. Watching. Listening. Analysing.
Has got to the 3-wicket mark in this Hero CPL 2017. Jonathan Carter. This is only the 5th time this year that he's managed to get a bat. Averaging 33. Maybe underutilized in this lineup.
The perfect delivery to a player that's just come out to the middle. He set himself a little bit deeper to create a little bit of length for himself to get up and underneath the ball, but Bravo was up to that. Made sure that he kept it full. Said, come on crowd, we're playing at home. We win tonight, we go through to the final on Saturday.
Beaton and Gayle continue to battle.
Two overs to go. You would be thinking a minimum of 25. And still, you'd think they're probably 25 to 30 short of what they need to be. TKR have been wonderful with their ability to take wickets and keep on Chris Gayle, who hasn't really been at his fluent best tonight. He's only striking at 100. Ball short of 50. What has he got in the remaining balls of this innings?
Well, it's not all about the cricket here at the Hero CPL. It is about so many other people that are involved in the game. And the cheerleaders are a huge part of that. Entertaining the crowd in between deliveries, before games. And these youngsters on screen, we've just been watching them. Very impressive, particularly their gymnastic skills.
Oh, beautifully bowled. Wonderful Yorker with 3rd man up and fine leg and deep square leg back long side to where there's protection. Not sure if he's been in long enough to play a little reverse scoop, Jonathan Carter. He likes those little sweeps and scoops. Gets it over where there's no one deep. That's unfortunate for Beaton. What an outside edge that is.
Left-hander there. It slews off the face of the bat, and bowling at 137, almost 138 kilometres an hour. When it gets over the top of the infield, it will race away at this ground. Lara Cricket Academy. slews off the face of the bat, and bowling at 137, almost 138 kilometres an hour when it gets over the top of the infield. It's exactly what I wanted, and then all of a sudden, going across the left kilometres an hour when it gets over the top of the infield, it will race away at this ground. Very, very good surface here at Brian Lara Cricket Academy. Yeah, looking for that delivery that he bowled. And he's going to work that onside. 5 for 122 and then 6 for 128.
This is excellent from Ransford Beaton here tonight. Two.
He's bowled well. He's got bowled some good pace. He's troubled most batsmen. He's got some steep bounce as well. He's got a good action and he generates that pace, but he also presents a good seam. He's beaten the outside edge of the left-handers on a couple of occasions with just running it past the outside edge. He's got the skill to be able to get it right up into the block hole, which is so important in these closing overs.
Oh, well done. Well done. There was a little leave alone, but 19 overs now completed, 132 for 6.
Dan Christian, once again, he's taken an absolute blinder already today on this occasion. Parries the ball back inside the field of play with his body being on the outside. Just have a look at this. Most importantly, he wasn't touching any part of the boundary rope and wasn't touching.
Just gone at a strike rate of a runner ball, which is, for one of his power, quite interesting that they've restricted him to this type of progress. Bravo has a man right behind him.
Possible with the field that he has set at the moment, but he didn't quite get this right. Just having a look at the replay there, whether or not he's got a little nick on it as well.
So is he expecting Gayle to hit this ball straight back fielder? He's hit it straight. He's hit it very straight indeed, so it's 50 for Christopher Henry Gayle.
He had a 50 coming up off 49 deliveries. There was not a lot of room to move with that straight drive, but he threaded it beautifully.
It moved the straight man. 2 is the call. Amazing. Shouldn't have been 2 there, really.
He slipped a gear, didn't he? It was a poor throw coming from the outfield. Searles was the culprit at deep mid-off, but should have never have got to that stage. Ball's got a parachute on it.
It's been slow for Chris Gayle. 3 4s, 3 6s as wickets have fallen around him right throughout this innings. Usual slog sweep, backward a square, followed up by the straighter ones. So he's peppered all boundaries.
Just wonder, guys, if this score has any teeth in it. That sounded good. That sounded very good from Devon Thomas.
It's a change of pace. Tommy,
Look, so just to point look, so just to point look, so just to point
Great stuff. Thank you, Adam. Thanks.
He did bowl well, runs but beaten. We will have the customary parade of costumes and deliveries for TKR. Can they get it? We'll take a short break and come back with much more from the Brian Lara Cricket Academy.
We gon' represent and blood. When people come out all nation, for the team in a unification. When the stadium ram bleach at the grandstand, and the meaning of beautification. It's how we play.
Sing.
They've got nothing more for your money.
I've got my mindset on you. I've got my mindset on you. I've got my mindset.
But sometimes, little things make a big difference. Mobile banking from HSBC.
At Marbles, we work hard to accept you and put you in control, even if you have a day.
Now, you wouldn't want to...
At the junction, turn right. At the crossroads, turn right. At the forest, turn right. At the mountain pass, turn right. At the sand dunes, turn right. At the river, go straight through. Then turn right. At the dormant volcano, turn right. I suppose you want the left turns now.
Hafeez came to the crease and looked like he was going to post a big score. Him that didn't quite find the middle of the bat. First over from Kevon Cooper. Picked up a wicket. His first game back under his Gayle still remained there from time to time, found the boundary. But it was always if they were held back. The run rate was never really getting ahead.
From him in tandem with Chris Gayle, the biggest of the night, this 6 from Gayle, until Bravo found some more magic to remove Brathwaite.
Yeah, Mohammad Nabi came in and it was a brief visit for him, a terrific was his demise, comfortably taken. That was beaten second wicket. And Bravo finish off the innings for TKR.
And so the point standing for the Dream 11, Dwayne Bravo by virtue of his 4 wickets, and was good tonight as well. That's why he's up there on the scoreboard in 3rd, and the King and Cooper there as well. The Knight Riders love chasing. They've won 7 out of 8 chasing in this.
To go at exactly 7.5s. Domination of red shirts. Who's had to head home. Cottrell, Sergeant Sheldon Cottrell, is going to start, kick things off for the Patriots. Oh, Perkins. Time for the Nescafe countdown. Just about ready to unleash is Cottrell. William Perkins is going out.
I reckon this game is going to go down to the wire for a spot in the final. It's just going to add a few nerves to William Perkins playing in his first match in Hero CPL 2017.
Delivery and the second one bowls a bit of a heavy ball, does Cottrell, but you can just see the extra bounce as well. The road to the final, the playoff this evening. Night Riders up against the Patriots. The winner straight through to the final. And then on Wednesday, the eliminator, 3rd v 4th. The loser is out. The winner goes on to play the loser of this evening. And then the final on Saturday, right here.
He's copped one, has he? Oh.
Yeah, that will pain. He's been a little bit nervy in the field, William Perkins. Missed an opportunity to take a catch in the outfield. Now, second delivery down and maybe out as well.
Crazy thing is everyone sort of chuckles a bit, don't they, when that happens. I tell you, almost feel like throwing up. Not a great, causing enough pain out in the middle.
In the beautiful Twin Island Republic of Pitch Lake in southwest Trinidad. Natural wonder, they say, in this part. And nesting leatherback turtles. Another.
Someone gets a little niggle like that. As a bowler, yeah, psychological, and you want to rip one.
At the moment, Perkins, he'll just want to try and get off strike now. Safest place for him to recover is up the other end.
Watch that swing, Mr. Perkins. Yes, beautiful start. Well, God, there you go! Just about to say Narayan was going to give up the ghost. And he just has to keep running back for an early shower.
Yeah, Evin Lewis. A bullseye throw from cover point. Sunil Narayan, well, this experience, don't know if it's working. Sunil Narayan goes without scoring. It's not for one.
That there on the phone is Quiff, the sports betting app, where every time you place a bet, your odds might get quiffed. What does getting quiffed feel like? It feels like catching a glass before it hits the ground, and then you never stop holding it. And everyone's like, it's feeling available to a human being. And that, more or less, is Quiff.
Oh, the Duckman's all over it. Colin Munro. Left-hander replacing a left-hander. They've got so many of them.
And I just said what Perkins needs to do is get up the other end, get off strike, just to calm himself down. But that was not the ball to do it to. Straight to Lewis. Simple pickup. Had time to settle himself. Have a good look at the stumps.
Melanie, what's that like? Run out without facing a ball.
It's never happened. Well, not to me.
Well,
for it, because he's not looking happy after a fantastic first over. And that says a lot to me. The talk in the sheds from the Patriots would have been, look, we probably don't have it better. And they've got one of them already.
He's got a solitary run there. Now Munro as well is just off the mark. We saw pace from both ends. Who's done a lot of travelling to get here.
Yeah, no surprise too that he is opening up, because he is your traditional swing bowler as well. So Chris Gayle has got some support behind the wicket. He's got a slip in there in a deep gully, because that is the natural angle that Ben Hilfenhaus will get. It'll be away from the right-hander. Attack the Patriots.
The batting partner, young Clotter, he was confident. There was some glove on this one. A good catch behind the stumps from Devon Thomas. Perkins goes for one. It's 2 for 2 now.
Find out how much brisk walking you're doing. Download the free Active 10 app.
Not if I get my way.
Contact us for a free consultation or go online.
In a couple of other games to Brathwaite. Let's have a little look at this.
Yeah, just down the leg side. William Perkins playing on top of this delivery. Glove. There were out of celebrations all around from the Patriots.
Aaron Bravo. A bit of pressure now for that.
Danny Morrison now not quite sure. This experiment with Sunil Narayan at the top of the innings is still a valuable one with the loss of Brendan McCullum. Maybe it's something that the Trinbago Knight Riders coaching staff could think about. That's an area of the game they will need to tinker a little bit upon, because McCullum and Colin Munro, they've been the main run scorers for the Knight Riders. Like Darren Bravo, Dinesh Ramdin, Dwayne Bravo as well. To be drafted into this squad, because
one to go, looking for a wicket maiden, Ben Hilfenhaus. 2 for 2 off 2 with a wicket maiden.
One, Narayan, zip.
Openers are out of here early doors. More of Cottrell. Up against Munro. Now it'll race away for 4. A little bit of width on offer for Colin Munro.
He's always fired for the Knight Riders. Boy, they'll need him tonight. That's one with width. Plays it off the middle of the bat square of the wicket.
Absolute Jaffa. 2 left-handers out there, and Cottrell will be
good form at the moment that he'll just put this out of his mind. He'll say, well bowled, and that will be the last he'll think of it. Absolute peach. Angling in, hits the deck, good bounce and carry, and then just holds its line.
So sweet. And that's sweet bowling as well. Yeah, that's right, Colin. With Mr. Thomas.
Good seam position, good length as well from Cottrell. That has been the highlight of his spell so far. Into his second over. Oh, some really good dot deliveries to William Perkins. But they're just probably supporting cricket, I would say.
Every time he gets a wicket, he does this, another El Dorado celebration of note. Third one down. And the Kiwi Munro has to go for 5, 6 for 3.
Despite all of these bums in my face and the clueless steward clearing the label cubicle, my bed's gonna come in, I know. The half are leaving.
That's the spirit. Paddy Power, you beauty.
Another dependable character for TKR, Dinesh Ramdin. He's got a couple of good knocks at important times, and he's in here because a leading edge from Colin Munro. Love a celebration. Hello, sir, says Sheldon.
It's the flourish at the end. Yeah, that's just a nice casual salute there. broken wrist. Get back here. Is that what you're saying? It's being a bit soft. If you're listening, we hope that wrist is recovering very, very well and very speedily, Brendan.
It was almost past him. In the follow-through, had to turn around and come back to his left. Did Sheldon Cottrell. And then left, right, sir. Pace off the ball, I reckon, from Mohammad Nabi. Hero maximum race for 2017. Lewis, 31. McCullum can't add to that tally anymore.
Well, they're missing 25 hero maximum lineup.
Darren Bravo and Dinesh Ranjan has just come in. So a left-hand, right-hand combination now for TKR.
He does well. A target score.
2. Seen swing.
Runs on offer, but it's also giving both the seam bowlers and the spin bowlers quite a bit out in the middle as well. So it's a wonderful competition between bat and ball.
King Carlos into the attack. Carlos Brathwaite, best bowling figures last game. The final, he captained them to victory, and they were 3 for 30 in 4.5 overs. And the statistic, 79% of the time you don't go on to in your innings if you're in that 21%, I suppose, of those who succeed. Teams.
He has enough, but I guess we could spice it up.
All the way for 6. You wouldn't have thought that when you saw the contact off the bat.
Spot something you like? One click. It's in your bet slip and you're on. More markets, more choice. William Hill. This.
Dinesh Ramdin. There's so much experience out there for TKR now. There's 123 test matches between these two.
We had a runway
One for 6 in